Yo, what up guys, so in today's video what I want to do is basically show you how to use ZAP Proxy to brute force attacks, login web pages or anything that you're trying to brute force. Now, ZAP Proxy is basically the same as Burpsuite. It's the same proxy, but Burpsuite is basically a paid project, whereas ZAP is a community project and it's free and it's not limited like Burpsuite is. Now, I will basically focus on Burpsuite today, as I said, because this is a ZAP video. So in today's video, what I want to do is basically show you how to brute force a login page on WordPress, and also how to escalate your privileges to send basically by sending a request and exploiting and getting escalating privileges to administrator on WordPress, which then allows you to get a reverse shell, which I've also showed you how to do. So if you're using Kali, and I'm pretty sure Parrot is the same thing, so you shouldn't have any much problems either if you're using Parrot or Kali. If you're using something else, I'm not sure, because that's basically the two systems I have really used for penetration testing or ethical hacking. But if you basically know what you're doing or sort of have experience, you should be fine, right? So the first thing I want to show you is basically launch ZAP. Now you can launch ZAP basically by going to the left corner, just typing ZAP, or if you want to do a command line, maybe you want to run proxy chains, you can just tap ZAP proxy, sorry, owasp ZAP, and it'll launch ZAP. Now, what I want to tell you is to not run two instances of proxies at the same time. So do not run like Burpsuite and ZAP at the same time, unless you want to change your settings, right? So what do I mean? Why would you change your settings from running like two ZAP proxies or something, right? So basically each proxy has its own settings, sort of port, right? And you have to change your port if you want to basically run two sort of things at once. So if you go to tools and options, right? And if you go local proxy, local proxies right here. And basically, as you can see, it says local host and the port, which is 8080. Now, if you know local host and port 8080, which is what the local host is load back, so it's 127.0.0.1 IP address, right, on every single machine, which means local host. Basically, if you want to send the data, the request and everything through your browser, you have to put a proxy in place, and you have to be transferred to this using these addresses, unless you change it, right? If you launch another proxy, if I want to launch Burpsuite right now, which I don't want to do because I might fuck everything up, it happened before, right? Even though I changed everything, it still fucked everything up. So what you should do is try and basically run it. You should need to run the proxy. For example, if you're running a proxy on Firefox, it needs to be on the same port as your ZAP or Burpsuite. So if you run two instances, you have to go to the tools options and change this port to whatever port you set it to. You might have set it to 8081, 8090, whatever you have set it to, you need to change it. So that's why I recommend running one instance of ZAP or proxy at once. And as you can see, I don't know why, but I'm getting 2 million requests right now. So what I'm just going to do is delete all of this, because I don't want this at all. Please delete, thank you. Okay, so we're not interested in this. Okay, so now I can go basically to explaining how to actually brute force. So the first thing we need to do is get a login page. Whatever you're trying to brute force, either as it doesn't have to be WordPress. I'm using WordPress because this is sort of the easiest for me to show you this. So the first thing we need to do, just like Burpsuite, we need to send a dummy request. Now I know the username. The username you can get is very, very easy. You can get it from enumerating WordPress scan, which then you can use brute force. However, I'm showing you to use ZAP because ZAP is a good tool. And also, as I said, if you know how to use ZAP, you'll be able to brute force any website in the world. If you know how to use WP scan, but not ZAP, you will only be able to exploit WP scan. WordPress websites, right? I'm getting a bit mixed up because I'm trying to, trying to process everything and talk to you and make it sense at the same time. So sorry about that. So how do you get usernames? You can obviously look through the website and try and find the username. Usually you have some, if it's a blog website, it's very, very easy to get usernames. You can, if it's a WordPress, you can use WP scan, enumerate it by using a, also I'll make another video on enumerating users, but this for today, let's just say that we have a username. I'll show you in the next video how to get usernames, right, on our website. So using WP scan, and also just by looking, I'll show you in the next video, right? So I have a username for today. I know the password as well, but obviously there's no point me logging in with the password because I'm trying to brute force, right? So what we're gonna do is delete all the requests. If you have thousands of requests, just press Ctrl A and delete. Go back to the web browser and just put a dummy request, right? So let's put 1234. And as you can see, this is the only request. If you go to request, right, it's not like Burpsuite, you need to go quick start and request. And this is, as you can see, a request, right? So just verify it is the correct request, log Wendy at password 1234. And what we're going to do is just basically highlight this, right click, fuzz. And as you can see, this is the fuzzer. Now fuzzer is a very, very strong tool. This has thousands and thousands of settings. You can actually, what you can do is you can actually sort of get ZAP to look for MD5 hashes or other hashes of passwords. So maybe instead of looking for a password like plain text, you can actually use ZAP to find you an MD5 hash, or I think it's like SHA-1 or something, I can't remember. There's a lot of hashes, right? But MD5 hash is one of the most popular to use, plus also one of the weakest ones to use. So that's why you shouldn't use MD5, right? You should use other SHA-512, SHA anything that takes a while to decode, right? There's a lot of hashes. So as soon as you highlight it, that's sort of you, right? As you can see other ones you can add, remove, but because we know the username, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fuzz with the password. So we're gonna go to payload, we're gonna add, we're gonna go to file and select. And what we're going to do, because I know which one I'm using, word list, we're going to use user share word lists. And for today, we're going to use fast track txt. Make sure it's two T's, right? No capital. Just press OK. You can add your own, just add, and that's it. OK. And that's it, basically, right? That's the payloads done. You can add, modify, you can add your own. Right, you can add your own, doesn't really matter. You can add your own. Okay. So this is you sort of nearly done. The next thing you need to do is basically just press start fuzzer, right? And then it'll start fuzzing. I wanted to say something, but forgot what. Right, so as you can see, it's on, oh sorry, I wanted to say about word lists. So as you can see, our request has also been made. So what has happened is basically we just brute forced a dictionary. Well, we used a dictionary attack, right? So what is happening is basically, I will explain this in a second, but I just wanted to say about word lists. Word lists for this website, in this case, rockut.txt is a big, basically it's too big for this website. It's not worth doing it. Remember that also by doing this, you can DDoS a website, right? Because you're making too much requests. If the website is not handling it, if the website is basically you're sending too much requests and the website cannot respond to all of them, or is not able to handle all of them, it'll crash the website most likely, or it'll make the website lag, right? So make sure that whatever you're doing is you're not disrupting the service you're trying to basically brute force against, right? Sometimes actually, if you do bug bounties, make sure they look through the scope, because some websites will not allow you to run automated tools, will not allow you to, or will basically say you can make 1 request per second. And if you think about it, 1 request a second is not even worth doing brute force. As I said, brute force should be your last resort to do, or if you have lots of time, or if you have nothing to do in life, then yeah, go ahead, brute force everything, right? So basically, you go our result, right? And as I said, I'm using fast track because this is a small word list that's much faster than Broku. You can also have your own word list, right? There's too many tools to make your own word lists. So basically, the first thing we need to focus on 4 of these headers. So the first one is code, right? Right, so this is our request. It says task 201 fuzzed and if it says fuzzed, it means it's basically, well, fuzzed. It says fuzzed, right? But it means it went through. Code 302, reason found. You can basically ignore RTT. Size response header 1100 bytes and size response body 0. Now, if you basically also tells you the password here, right? So if you look, basically, instead of just going through the request, like if you have 10,000 requests, good luck, you'll be here till tomorrow. So what you should do is basically set it to the biggest to the smallest, right? If it says 302, like if it was to say 302 for every single one, you might have done something wrong. However, I would still let it run like for a couple minutes and then just set it to look for something different. Because if it says 302, 302 all the way down, and there's one request like me, and maybe it says, I don't know, 201 or something, then you should still check it out because it might work, right? So as you can see, it's a different request. That's what you're looking for. It's a different request. Size response header, you can also look for that. It should basically look at this for the difference in basically response, right? Because if you have the same responses and you get one different response, that means it's possibly that, right? Or maybe you just got an error, right? Maybe a firewall blocked you something. There could be 5 million things that could have happened. So as you can see, we have fuzzed and we have found the correct request. So our password is changed later. So I suggest copying this password. Right, anyways, just use the password, copy the password. Right, here's your request. Go to the website browser, log in. Make sure it's the correct one, right? Now, as soon as you're logged in, that's you, right? We are in the website. You might be able to log into administrator, editor, whatever, right? If you get access to themes and plugins, you are a winner because you can get a reverse shell easily, right? It's very, very easy to get a reverse shell. However, in this case, what I want to also show you is privilege escalation for WordPress using ZAP. So it's very, very easy to I found this yesterday by watching a write-up. I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll possibly put it in the description if I find it. A guy showed me basically how to get administrator right very, very easily. However, please don't run this on any website because it will fuck up the website if you do this, right? I've done this about 5 times today, and every single time I've done it, it fucked up the website. So make sure if you're running this, you're running on your own website or you have a backup of a website. It will fuck up the website. You will not be able to log in. I mean, you might be, but it will take you some time because you might have to fix the website or login page to actually log in, because it fuck ups the login, and if it fuck ups the login, well, I should tell you what this means, right? You will not be able to edit the page. That's it. You're stuck. You might have to load the backup. Right, and if you have a backup on your website instead of, for example, on your external device or something, then, well, you might have a tough time a bit, right, getting the backup and stuff. So make sure that if you're running this exploit, you're not gonna fuck up someone's website or your own. I mean, if you're running this on your own, then make sure you have security in place or backups in place to not fuck up your whole website. So the first thing we need to do is basically we need to go to, we can close the fuzzer now because we have found the password. You can go to history. Actually, no, don't delete it yet. Go to your profile, edit my profile, and what you're going to do is delete the history because it fucks up the host history, right? Now, the first thing we're doing is make sure you have access to edit profile, which you should obviously, because if you don't have access to edit your profile, then your website's very I guess restrictive. So update profile, and we're looking for the request. The request is post. As you can see, we get a request. What we're going to do is basically go to open recent with a request editor, and what you're going to do is put a payload. Now the payload I'll show you right now. So the payload is basically between this. So what you're going to do is you can see the equals. So we're going to do is put anti-samp or whatever it's called. But it's shift and 7, right? What we're going to do is your underscore other underscore roles equals administrator, right? Now there's no, as you can see, there's a send button, but it's very glitchy. All you do is just put it in full screen, right? And then you just press send. Once you send it, you just do refresh, and as you can see, we are the administrator. This is how easy it is to exploit WordPress in this case. Now, please don't, as I said, don't run this on any single website you find because you'll fuck up the website. Please also make it legal. Don't just go around hacking every single website in the world, because that's not what I teach. I teach you to be a good person. If it's a scammer's website, on you go, do that. Scammers are very bad. I'm also trying to fight scammers myself, because the police will not do anything. And if the police won't do anything, what the fuck can the person do? Right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Right, so be it. That's for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I showed you something. I hope I clarified some stuff. If you have any questions, make sure to contact me on Twitter. Now